fucking watch it. These two guys are actually crackheads?
Eddie, come on. Come on, guys.
Sorry, just letting you on.
Eddie, guys, you know the rules in my comments. If I say stop, is stop. You can touch the gloves if you want. Yeah, if you touch the gloves you want.
This gotta be in Russia, right?
Fight clean, go back to the corner and wait for my signal start, alright?
Hold on, when's it start?
Let's go, already circling. Look at this. I talked about the strategy. They're both coming from a very wide angle. Eddie calling them on.
They're both egging each other on here. This is very, very interesting. Ultimately, it was like a football formation. They swapped in wings before they went on to Eddie.
And you know, Eddie's taking this seriously. I like that he's putting his back to the fence. It means they can't get behind him. This is an important part of the strategy. And I've got rounds here, you know.
What kind of gloves are they wearing?
2-minute rounds, 3 rounds of MMA action, and you can feel the tension. No shot has been thrown yet. We are 30 seconds in.
It's that first explosion, that first use of strength. Will we see it? When will we see it? And they've got to draw it out of it.
Oh, Eddie Hall's getting pissed.
Yeah,
he's just gonna...
The referee, there's 2 referees in the cage here again. The referee's telling more action is what the fans are also wanting. But there is more to this fight. You've got to think about what you did.
Well, yeah, he's big. I mean, one guy should rush in, and the other guy gotta be fast. Are these guys twins?
Very wise and cautious about the way that they're going to attack, but they have to pull the trigger.
This guy means business.
The shots have been thrown by Eddie Hall so far, and the fighters have been moving up. I wonder if the referee's going to stop it and have a word with them to actually throw a bit more shots.
Well, you got to encourage action. Timidity is against the rules. Usually,
first shot,
leg kick. It didn't even move him. I mean, that leg kick.
Why are they celebrating?
Look, they're talking now. A little bit of gamesmanship, a little bit of strategy. Eddie came here for a fight. He's been training, letting 5, 6 people fight him at once, and now he's got the 2 men in here.
Eddie's keeping composure.
There's no shot. There's no shot.
Then his back is exposed, and a big kick again from the twin.
Trying to land that leg kick. They did say it would be over in 30 seconds. Obviously, a different strategy has played out here. 10-second clapper for this first round, which has been very uneventful.
Yeah, all we've seen so far is 2 leg kicks really from the fighters.
Oh, Eddie's getting pissed.
That was round number 1.
Are we kidding?
Eddie Hall, unimpressed.
Into it as well.
Come on.
Of course, they're running away as they're striking. He's back on the fence. Wait for them to come to him. And almost the Nafati brothers feel like they want Eddie to come to them as they cat and mouse, and no one's given up here.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Give me round 2. I want to see one of these bozos get knocked out, bro. Russia or maybe Poland? Poland makes sense. Russia's usually where this shit happens, though. Or Street Bees. They did the 3-on-3 in Street Bees.
Well, they're just terrified of getting slapped by the giant, by the beast that's in there, you know? But I'm sure they're going to have a talk about the strategy right now. Eddie, of course, technically he lost that round. I mean, he didn't do anything, and nor did they, but they did land 2 strikes.
Yeah, exactly. So he threw a few, but they missed. And here we go, round number 2 between the Nafati brothers and Eddie Hall. Yeah, Eddie just waiting for his moment here. You know, he doesn't have much choice. It'll be quite hard, like I said, to track down one of these guys, but if he can get one of them to the ground, can you imagine what would happen? Eddie's just
the huge Russian female fighter. Oh god.
When that shot is let off, I wonder if he even could catch them when they. Oh, it goes. Oh, a big shot that's missed. And
oh,
Eddie
he's
Hall
sprinting.
Has game plan and he's chased after one of them.
Yeah, I mean, kind of close on that right hand as well. You saw the speed from the big man, but Eddie keeps calling.
Bro, they're petrified.
The are calling him on.
Someone's got to throw first.
Eddie checking his watch as the crowd get a little restless.
Bro.
They're getting a bit annoyed and frustrated as the main event so far has been minimal action in another leg kick lands.
I think that one didn't look like it landed, that one, but
just
they're petrified.
Even looking at it like this, are the Nafati brothers going for a complete points victory? But by doing absolutely
I don't think it's their intention to have put on such a show and for this to be happening, but once you're in there, it's obviously very different. You know, you don't want to get knocked out, you don't want to lose, and the presence of Eddie Hall is being felt by these 2 men.
They're chanting for Eddie.
Because as Eddie is trying to engage, they are retreating, so perhaps that's why the ref is instructing them.
Is that a deductible points offence?
I mean, it can be, you know, timidity is kind of part of the rule set. You know, if you show timidity, that's, you have to fight. You have to be prepared to fight. And
come on.
Nothing action-wise is happening. Back in Japan, you would get a yellow card and you'd lose.
I've never seen this before. I don't know what happens.
Well, it might be needed for this fight. Eddie Hall runs after one, but then he has to watch his back.
Eddie is ready.
Complicated fight for Eddie Hall.
Eddie is ready to fight someone. He just can't fight anyone right now. Trying to use his peripheral vision.
Yeah, he's looking down at the
oh,
but he can't catch them either. There's a lack of speed there.
Oh, come on.
With the amount that he weighs and the amount that the Nafati's weighs, he's never going to catch him.
Probably not. You know, he's trying some tactics in there. It's quite tough. That's a check right there as well. That's pretty sneaky, that check from Eddie. Picked up that lead leg again. And this has been
surely the Nafati's got to double down from that kick. They've got two humans in there. We need to see more action.
You know, I would.
Oh, they're getting closer now.
Attacks at the same time. You know, but it's not always easy. The ref is having to run now, and Eddie doing whatever he can to try and track one of these guys down. And that is the end of the second round right there.
Come on, this is only 3 rounds, and they're doing this.
The home city of the Nafati brothers. It could be a very well executed. You know, sometimes you can't just, you know, please the fans. You got to win. Is that what Nafati's are doing?
Oh, Eddie's coming forward.
Eddie wants to fight, and you know, unfortunately he doesn't seem to be able to chase down and catch these guys. You know, so if the Nafatis want to score points to get a show, they have to do this. But they are sticking.
Oh, come on, Eddie.
You know, we've said this before. You've put these guys in here to fight this big man. There's only really one safe way to do that, and that's
put one of them out. Come on.
They don't want to enter the pocket. They don't want to brawl. And no hands have been thrown yet, really, by either man.
Punch has been landed actually in this fight. There has been kicks, but I don't think there has been a single punch landed. Thrown, but not landed.
Let's see if in the closing seconds someone takes a chance. Eddie is clearly super frustrated.
Come on, this is terrible.
For a fight. The Nafatis are trying to say the same thing, and now Eddie's standing in the middle.
They're not taking advantage of that either. Eddie backs up again. Eddie Hall is unimpressed. He's really, really frustrated. But I'm thinking, if you're Eddie Hall, you may as well go for it now then. Like, Jay,
he almost had one of them there. I mean, maybe turning it into a takedown might work for him.
I think you just got to chase him as much as you can.
At this point, yeah, I mean, less than a minute left in this
third and
final round. Oh, the speed that Eddie ran across the cage. There we go. And on the single leg, trying to fight. Picking one guy up. Slams him down. Eddie right hand land for Eddie Hall. He's knocked him out. One shot is all it took.
One shot. Knocked one of the Nafati brothers out cold. And Eddie Hall is victorious in a fight that looked like it wasn't going anyway. In a fight that looked completely dead in the water. In the final seconds, the world's strongest man knocks out one of the twins when we were about to get action. And that's what happens when you step in with the world's strongest man.
Yeah, it's Eddie Hall in 2 versus 1.
Was all he needed. Like a flash of lightning, that straight right came out down
oh
the
my
middle
God.
and cleaned the clock of the Nafati brothers there. Not sure. He's regained consciousness here, cage side, but Eddie Hall got what he wanted. A chance to show off the power, and he fired that straight right hand. Accurate and clean. We're going to see on the highlights here, most likely, that final shot landed. And, you know, I believe
they'll show the highlights.
They continue here. I don't know if it's been officially completely waved off. Obviously, the doctors are in right now as well. And here we go on the replay.
He throws that guy.
Driver. Now they're closing the distance. There's the right hand as he comes in. And up he gets. Obviously, the doctors are in right now as well. And here we go on the replay.
Just power bombs this guy.
Now they're closing the distance.
About to do it.
The right hand as he comes in. And up he gets. He's all right. He's back on his feet. The crowd go wild. The single leg back fist. This is the slam, and as he gets up, bam, right hand sends him to dreamland.
However,
beautiful
the fight
shot.
is not over.
Yes, I am aware the fight is not over, but there's not much time left. 30 seconds, I think, or so, for this lone Nafati brother to go up against Eddie Hall.
And a single Nafati redeem the brothers' McBride here. What a shot from Eddie Hall.
I mean,
Absolutely incredible.
so brave for them to go for it in the closing moments of the round. That's the fight they wanted. They went for the strategy, and Eddie showed that, you know, size and strength, it does matter.
But here we go.
These guys aren't Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse would beat the bodybuilder.
Final instructions from the referee. We're going to clap it back in. I don't know if anybody realised that the fight is going to continue here. Here we go, about 30 seconds on the clock.
Is he gonna KO this dude too?
If he knocks him out now, it's going to be crazy. And we're starting.
Here he comes out.
1v1 now is completely different.
Eddie pushing the pace, trying to close the distance, stalking down his man. Oh, the jab sends him down. Is Eddie going to get on top? He's pinning out his bicycle.
This is incredible. I've seen nothing like this before.
David Mascalone. Oh, Eddie's on top.
All over.
Oh, he needs to move. He cannot stay in.
Oh, big
The
shot.
ground and pound from Eddie. Oh, short shots, and he's calling it up. He gets the win. 2 knockouts for Eddie Hall.
Bro, Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall got a beer belly and a six-pack. Why'd he backflip?
You know, I think we all got what we wanted. It just took us a while to get there. I mean, come on now.
Why'd he backflip? Alright, that fight was ass until the knockout, bro. That shit's crazy. Russia's gotta stop with these, bro. Russia's gotta stop with these, man.